Learners, welcome to video lecture series 16 for BA first semester Political Science in the paper of Introduction to the Political Theory. I am Dr. Deepak Kumar Kashyap, Assistant Professor at Pandit Sundalal Sarma Open University. The evolutionary theory of state explains that the state is not a sudden creation but the result of a long historical process. It developed gradually through different stages of human society, such as family, tribe, clan, and chiefdom. Over time, as human needs become more complex, political organizations also become more structured, eventually leading to the modern state. This theory highlights that no single factor is responsible for the origin of state. Instead, social, economic, political, and cultural forces all contributed. Thus, the state is seen as a natural and continuous development of human society rather than an artificial institutions created at a particular moment. First slide, we are going to explore the evolutionary theory of state, which is the one of the most widely accepted explanation how the state originated. And this theory helps us to understand that the state was not created suddenly, but rather developed gradually over a long period of time. In this lecture, we will examine its meaning, development, key factors, importance, and criticism in detail. First question arises that why does the origin of state matter? Basically, the question of how the state originated has always been a central to political science. Various theories have attempted to answer this question, such as divine origin theory, social contact theory, and the force theory. However, these theories often rely on assumptions or specific ideas. The evolutionary theory, on the other hand, provides a more realistic explanation by showing that the state developed slowly through historical process and social changes. If we talk about the origin of theory, the evolutionary theory of state suggests that the state is the result of any single act, agreement, or divine will. Instead, it is the outcome of a gradual process of development. Just like human society evolves over time, the state also evolves. It is shaped by changing social conditions, economic needs, cultural practices, and political developments over centuries. This theory also gained importance during 19th century, a time when scholars began to applying scientific methods to study of society and politics. Thinkers started rejecting methodological or philosophical explanation and focused on historical and sociological evidence. They observed that political institutions developed gradually and concluded the state is a product of evolution rather than the sudden creation. The core idea of evolutionary theory is that the state is the result of continuous and natural development. Early human beings in simple and small groups. Over time, these groups became more organized and complex. As human needs increased, such as security, cooperation, and regulation, more structured form of organization emerged, eventually leading to the formation of the state. The state as a natural institutions. Basically, according to this theory, the state is a natural institution because it arises from the basic needs of human life. Humans are social beings who require cooperation and order to survive. As society grew larger and more complex, informal systems were no longer enough. This led to the development of formal political structures, which we now recognize as the state. The evolutionary theory emphasized that no single factor created the state. Instead, multiple factors working together over time. These includes family organizations, religious beliefs, wars and conquest, economic activities, and growing political awareness. And each factor contributed in its own way to shaping the structure and authority of the state. If we talk about the role of the family is considered the earliest unit of social organization. Initially, people lived in families led by elders. As families grew, they formed clans and tribes, and these groups needed rules and leadership to maintain order. Over time, this simple authority structure developed into more organized system, laying the foundation for political institutions and the state. Second, the religion. Religion played a crucial role in early societies. It helped maintain unity and discipline among people. Many early rulers claimed that their authority was given by divine powers. This belief made people more obedient and helped establish strong leadership. Religion, therefore, indirectly supported the development of political authority. War and the conquest were also major forces in the evolution of state. Strong tribes often defeated weaker ones and expanded their control over large territories. This expansion required better administration, law enforcement, and governance. As a result, more organized and centralized political system developed, contributing to the formation of the state. Economic development played a significant role in state formation. The shift from hunting to agriculture created stable community. Later, trade and industry increased economic complexity. These developments required systems of law, taxation, and administration. The need to regulate these economic activities to lead to emergence of the organized political institutions. Authority did not emerge suddenly. In earlier societies, leaders were chosen based on strength, wisdom, or experience. Over time, these leadership roles become more formal and structured. Authority became institutionalized and meaning it was no longer based on the individuals but on established systems and rules. This political authority evolved from personal and impersonal to institutionalized and rule based and transformation at the core of the evolutionary theory. One of the key features of evolutionary theory is that it rejects the idea of a single founder or event responsible for the creation of the state. Unlike other theories, it argues that the state is the result of a long historical process which involving many generations and multiple factors. If we talk about the comparison between the three theories, First, divine theories, social contract theories, and the evolutionary theory. We can say that these theories have a distinct features in all dimensions. If we talk the first dimension, if we talk about the how the state origin of state, by divine theory described it that it is created by the God, where social contract defined that it is agreement amongst individuals, where evolutionary theory explain the origin of state starts from the gradual historical development. If we talk about the basis, in divine theory base is faith and scripture, where the social contract theory base is rational concept, and evolutionary theory basis is historical and sociological evidence. In third dimension, if we talk about the role of individuals in divine theory, the role of individuals is subject of divine will, where the role in social contract, the role of individual is active participant, and the evolutionary theory is product of the social forces. If we talk about the fourth dimension, verifiability, in divine theory, that is the non-empirical. In social context, that is the hypothetical. And in evolutionary theory, that is the empirical grounded. In the last dimension, view of the state. In divine theory, that is the fixed and secured institution. In social contract theory, that is the contractual arrangement. In the evolutionary theory, that is the state is the dynamic and evolving institutions. If we talk about the modern support of this theory, because this theory has because it aligns with empirical research and historical analysis, and it explains the state as a dynamic institution that evolves with changing social, economic, and technological conditions. Uh, Despite its strength, the evolutionary theory is not without criticism. One major criticism is that it does not clearly identify the exact point at which the state came into existence. It also tends to overlook the role of specific events or individuals that may have significantly influenced political development. The modern state is the result of long evolutionary process. Institutions such as democracy, constitutions, and legal systems have developed gradually over time. And this supports the idea that the state is not static but continuously evolving. In conclusion, the evolutionary theory provides a comprehensive and practical explanation of the origin of state. It shows that the state is not a sudden creation but a gradual development influenced by various factors. And this makes it one of the most widely accepted theories in political science. Thank you for your attention. I hope this detailed explanation had helped you and to understand the evolutionary theory of state clearly. Thank you. Thank you so much.